Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simon. Welcome to another episode of The Bad Batch Season 3. Moving on to episode number 4. It is just one episode this week after the 3 episodes last week, and then immediately the day after 8 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I am quite thankful that there is only one after a heavy workload of the last week. But, you know, it's all good. New content is always appreciated. Just a general reminder, if you haven't, please do go check out my Star Wars channel. I've just uploaded a video speculating on who might be in the vaults on Mount Tantiss, so go check that out. I'll pop a link in both the description and the comments below. But that really is one of the big questions, isn't it? Who could be in the vault on Mount Tantiss? It's clearly a Force user. It is clearly, you know, to do with Project Necromancer, which is the cloning project to bring Palpatine back to life if or when he does eventually die. And we know that Omega's blood is now compatible, which is going to put an even bigger target on her back. Crosshair and Omega escaped in the last episode, which, you know, I'll admit, I was surprised at how quickly they got out. And without the aid of the rest of the Bad Batch, which at this point is just kind of Hunter and Wrecker, who we did catch up with briefly in the second episode. I've seen some people complain that that was filler, and I'm just like, my guys, firstly, there's nothing wrong with filler, you know, in an 18-episode season. You know, secondly, it was not filler. There was a lot of important points in there to help push the plot forward. You know, so again, it's just like, you can't win really, can you? You just can't win. You could have the most action-packed, explosive episode and someone's still going to moan. But yes, I've found the first 3 episodes quite intriguing. Obviously, they're setting up, I think, Pabu as a place of interest, because that's where they sent the 3 young clones. And we know from the trailer that that's a place where the Empire does visit. But there is obviously still a lot of questions about what now. You know, are we going to see the 2 sides of the Bad Batch reunited? How is Rex and Echo going to figure into this? Because, you know, Echo is mysteriously missing from a lot of promotion. And, you know, he's only been mentioned so far. So, you know, we know that Rex is going to show up at some point. Wolf is going to show up at some point. So there's a lot still to happen. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump in and watch episode 4 of The Bad Batch. Oh, they're going to crash land somewhere, aren't they? Again, it looks so beautiful. I love the animation. There's a shot from the trailer. That almost looks like the planet that Obi-Wan and Vader fight on, but it's not. I tell you what, it does look like. It looks a bit like Peridia. And again, I know it's not, because that's a different galaxy, but still. The mountains that have been carved out by the strong winds. It's got a very Peridia vibe. Well, Batchy's okay, that's good. Batcher, I should say.
We left the other prisoners behind.
The Empire is going to be searching for this ship and us.
Yeah, Omega's got a bit of a hero complex. She wants to save everyone.
We have to move.
It's not possible, I'm afraid.
Spaceport a few clicks east.
Indicated a positive M count transfer.
False positives are to be expected.
She's trying to cover even now.
But an aberration, like the clone herself.
We shall see.
Yeah, what is it that makes her so special?
The tests of validity will be confirmed.
Wait! We can't walk around like this. We'll draw too much attention.
You're the one who wanted to bring the hound.
Hey, don't you have a go at Batcher.
Come on.
Batcher is adorable, and if anything happens to him, we burn everything. Which, knowing this show, and especially this season, means everything is getting burned at some point.
Are you insinuating that I should take a bribe?
I'm wearing a tire on my head. Do you think I need money?
I do. And that could be arranged. For 15,000 credits.
For 2 tickets.
15,000?
And it's
You could practically buy your own ship for that.
I'm not charging extra for the creature.
Every second we're here, we're at risk.
Then quit wasting time complaining.
Oh, you're right outside the bar.
I think I know how we can make some fast credits.
Gamble! Yes, go gamble, kid. Oh no, it's me! Oh dear. The bumbling Imperial officer has arrived.
Leaving so soon? You're in my seat.
Again, just look at the animation quality there. That's like, it's next level. It's so good. You can see the grease in his hair.
You think you're good at this game? Want to try against a real opponent?
Yes, Captain Toad.
Looks like the captain is heading towards a victory.
Well, I'll admit.
Is that Liam O'Brien again on the droid voice? He's doing so many voices this season. I love it.
You beat me, fair and square.
Jesus.
Nicely played.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's not. He's gonna get his comeuppance somehow. You don't just take 20,000 off the Imperial captain.
Found a crashed Imperial vessel on the outskirts of town.
You haven't paid your fine.
What fine?
It's gonna be however much he's got.
Gambling's illegal in these parts.
What?
The law's the law. Now all you got to do is pay the fine, and I'll be on my way.
How much?
20,000.
credits.
Oh, I mean that's still half of what you got.
Be arrested instead.
He's just giving you 20,000. You know what? You could haggle with that woman, get her down to 10.
Excellent.
Let's
I love the
get out of
cape
here.
the stormtrooper's got. It's quite intriguing.
35,000. Enough for 2 tickets on the shuttle and a little extra.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, just stay on that planet. You'd be rich by the end of the day.
I'm not abandoning her. Take the credits. If you want to go, then go. I'll find my own way.
See, we're transforming Crosshair into the perfect dad. Just like Hunter. And Wrecker. And Tech. And all of them. It's his turn. Oh dear. It's not just Batcher they've got here, there's quite a few wild animals. You can see what's going to happen here. They're going to release all the animals and it's going to be chaos. And I want to see what animals they've got locked up. I want to see a Wampa.
How about you give me all my money back? Credits won't do you any good when Hemlock shows up.
Oh no, he knows who they are.
Or do you think I wouldn't piece it together when I found that crashed shuttle? Nothing gets by me.
Not even the buffet table.
Town.
Let's try things your way.
Finally.
He's like, yes. God damn. Release the hounds! Yes! My god, look at it. It's like Jumanji in Star Wars. There you go, you got your own ship as well now. And let's face it, the Bad Batch was missing a pet. Uh-oh. What is that? That's the big one. No way. Is that a Raftar? That was a Raftar, I think. He just got eaten. Oh, that effect, man. The heat on the helmet. Beautiful.
The Empire will be able to track this vessel.
Reminds me of the
Need to
Ghost's
disconnect.
cockpit.
We will. I'm heading to a remote location, and I sent a coded transmission for Hunter and Wrecker to meet us there.
God, that's beautiful. That's my, like... I want to be on a planet that has that kind of a view where you can see loads of other planets. There they are. There he is. There's the big guy.
I wasn't even sure your message was real.
I like this. I'm surprised they got back together so soon, but hey, I'm happy. There's a little bit of tension here. It's almost a full reunion, but without Echo and Tech. It won't quite feel the same. Well, damn, they're really leaving us on a tense moment, but I fail to believe that there'll be anything less than accepting of Crosshair back into the group after he helped Omega. And she'll fight for him. You know, she'll fight for him being accepted back as part of the group. Can I just say, this episode looked visually stunning. Like, there were some moments here where I just had to, like, you know, bat my eyes in disbelief at what I was seeing. There were some shots that just looked so goddamn well animated. So, you know, the illumination, the effects, it has come so far. You know, I know that people often don't appreciate the quality of animation and what animation can bring. You can do so much through animation that you can't do in live action. Or, you know, you can do different ways of presenting things that live action just can't present as well to an audience. And this episode, there was some moments, like that planet at the very end was goddamn gorgeous. You know, the spacescape in the sky with the planets in the background, you know, it's so whimsical and, you know, alien, and I love it. I absolutely adore it. The effect with the stormtrooper as their ship was taken off, and you can see the heat blast on his helmet. Even when the captain was, you know, entering into the bar, it's like the way things are lit, the way things, you know, can be so detailed now. It goes beyond what I would have thought possible, you know, and it seems like every season gets better and better, you know, and we've seen with the final season of the Clone Wars as well that, you know, they're able to mix in, you know, all different kinds of animation methods. You know, motion capture is something now that you can do in animation, and when you tie all those elements together, like, there's a huge potential for animation going forward. You know, and I think that's the route that Star Wars needs to go down outside of its movies. You know, I know it's very time intensive, that it's not easy. There's a lot of resources that have to go behind it, but they've shown they can do it. And I'm more than happy for them to pour all their resources into doing one animated show a year and sacrifice, you know, some of the live action stuff that they do. If it means that we get a full 20 episode, you know, animated show of this level of quality, that is, you know, stunning, you know. So yeah, I mean, visually this episode was fantastic, and, you know, it was nothing more than Omega and Crosshair planet hopping, you know, to escape from the Empire, but it was so fun. You know, they land on Pow, I think they called it. You know, I didn't quite recognise the planet itself. Everyone there seemed to be, you know, fully covered up, you know, which is an interesting aesthetic. It felt very, you know, backwater world, very sort of grungy, which, you know, is a place that you would expect them to go to escape. You know, I love as well the fact that, you know, they depicted the Imperial captain as not necessarily bumbling or incompetent, but you could tell that he was, you know, he was overweight, he looked toad-like, you know, you could just tell from his demeanour that he was a typical Imperial officer, but he wasn't the usual kind of bumbling fool. You know, he knew how things worked, he had his little grasp on power on this planet, and, you know, he met his ultimate end in that Jumanji-like scene at the end, which I loved. I love that whole chaos. You could see it coming. The moment you realise the cargo port was just full of animals, it's like, yeah, they're going to unleash everything. And the question was, like, what's in that big container? There's something big there. And I think it was a raptor, you know, given that we don't know too many other animals that have, like, tentacles, and are that size, I think it's safe to say it's probably a Raftar. And luckily it got locked back in. And so, you know, it was a lot of fun. And again, it's building up this, you know, kind of picture that Crosshair can be that reluctant dad figure. You know, all of the members of the Bad Batch, they're all different types of dads. You know, you've got Wrecker, who is the dad that will let Omega stay up until, you know, 1 a.m, eating ice cream and playing video games. You've got Hunter, who is the dad that will always be there, you know, to pick up Omega when she gets her heart broken, or, you know, needs to take her to the dance or something like that. You know, he's the strong moral dad. And then you've got Crosshair, who's the dad who is extremely embarrassed by everything that she does, but he'll go out of his way to protect her. You know, I love that they're all different. They're all different dad figures. And, you know, I'll say that I am surprised at how quickly they managed to catch up at the very end. You know, it's been 4 episodes and already they've escaped, they've caught up, and they're back together. And it kind of makes you wonder. We've seen a lot of the stuff from the trailer now. So where does the rest of this season, you know, take us? What's their objective? I'm going to guess that, you know, with the operatives of the Empire being involved, it's now going to become a case of stay low, you know, stay out of sight, stay hidden, avoid bounty hunters. There may be something else that comes across their path, you know, from from Rex and Echo. Or it may be that Omega manages to convince Hunter somehow to go back and rescue the other clones on Tantis. I could see the Empire sending out a message to Omega with Nala Se. You know, using Nala Se as bait to bring Omega back. Knowing that Omega has this, you know, desire to save everyone, they might, you know, threaten Nala Se, and then that brings Omega back. You know, because she just has too big a heart. But yeah, it does kind of make you question, what's next? Where are we going to go? But, you know, this kind of shows that you don't need to have a wholly complex episode that moves the plot forward a million miles. You just need to have something that is basic, simple, is fun, and has a coherent point A to point B. You know, it has an objective. But no doubt, some people might call this filler for the most part. But, you know, this was a lot of fun. I really liked this episode. And so far, you know, every episode's hit it for me. Like, I can't have any complaints whatsoever. Everything they've done so far makes sense. As long as they're not rushing through the plot, then, you know, then that's absolutely fine. Because, you know, again, I kind of expected it to be more around mid-season that they all caught up and reunited. But I trust the showrunners, that they know what they're doing. And it kind of leads me to think that there's a lot more stuff that's going to happen that we just don't expect, which is always exciting. So, anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you for the next episode.